There are over 500 mosques in Istanbul, and this one stands proud and shining right on the shores of the Bosphorus. The Bosphorus is a beautiful strip of water that separates Europe from Asia. The greater part of Turkey lies in Asia, south of the Bosphorus, and a small chunk of Turkey tags onto Europe in the north. Istanbul spreads itself along the northern seaboard. It's a funny thing, but people always like to build their houses as near to water as possible. But along the Bosphorus, they practically tumble themselves right in with rickety timber lash-ups, concrete cubby holes, and elegant summer palaces. The Bosphorus is a mild sea, a gentle sea. No granite walls needed to hold it back. A sultan could afford to spend his biggest bag of rubies on a delicate dream house like this and know that it'll never get washed away. Could you be happy there with 100 wives? It's a job to say. And it's a job to say just what we're looking at now. I'm on a half-day excursion trip up the Bosphorus as far as the Black Sea, and no one on our little launch seems to know anything about anything. The guidebook says that we shall pass many fine residences and some picturesque fishing villages. Now, is he a fisherman? No. But they look like fishing boats. That must be a picturesque fishing village. I wonder what picturesque fish live down there. And there's another fine old residence. Oh, pity. I suppose the upkeep and trouble with the servants, and 47 of the wives never really liked it. But I must say, I like it. Do you? Good. Now, that's the sort of fort where you really could play at soldiers. It's got genuine castellated battlements, and it's in beautiful condition. It's a wonder Hollywood hadn't bought it. Doesn't look in the least forbidding, as most ancient castles do. But everything looks gay and carefree along these happy shores. The sun burns hot all day, the breeze blows cool. It's almost impossible to keep out of the water. It's a little bit on the mucky side here and there, but if Abdul tells Fatima to go take a jump in the sea, she's only too willing to oblige. It's a lovely sea. I don't suppose the scenery has changed for hundreds of years. Yes, it has. They've installed loudspeakers on that minaret there. You can just see them. The faithful are called to prayer mechanically now. And of course the boats are driven mechanically. But there's not much apparent change here under the crescent moon and star. And that's as far as we go. Come along there. All change. We take a bus back to Istanbul. But while we wait, let's just walk to the end of the promenade, underneath a pergola of low-slung, twining wiring. And there in the distance is the entrance to the Black Sea. I wonder how long the bus will be. Look, it's years since I played that. Let's have a go. All right, I'll go back to Istanbul. There's one thing I must do before I leave, and that's buy a few presents. You know, nothing elaborate. Let's wander around the market and see what we can find. Now, what are those things hanging up? They're Turkish chick incubators. Now, I don't know any young English chicks. Now, there's a nice-looking fish fryer, if you like that sort of thing. And what's he battering at? Ah, he's copper-bottoming them. You know, I can't think of anyone who'd really want one of those. All those. What do they use them for? Must be a rush order for Alibaba. There's a sort of disciplined madness in the way they clatter through the day. Every hammer tap, bang on. And look at this brilliant young smith and his two fire devils. He's tin plating a great copper tray. He's not very old, yet he's extremely skillful. Now, who would that do for? Well, I could do with a tray. The trouble is, all my doorways are so narrow. I'd skin my knuckles carrying it. No, I think I'll leave it. It looks good though, doesn't it? Glaring in the sunlight, enough to blind you. Let's wander on a bit further. I'm sure I'll find some nice, useful gifts somewhere. Yes, but all these things are a bit too useful. Now what's he got over there? I've seen lots of men carrying them, just a string of beads to fiddle with. It stops them smoking. They fiddle instead of smoking. And when you see what some of the older ones smoke, it's not surprising. I'm not sure whether he's smoking that, or that's smoking him. Makes me feel thirsty. There's a chap selling liquid. It's wonderful how you can make yourself understood, isn't it? He's a charming drink seller. He assures me that when he flogs the best beverages, he gets it out of a sort of hurricane lamp. Thank you. Not bad. Sort of water and syrup with a touch of old plum, I think. And listen, there's the Hoja calling the faithful to prayer. He holds his head in his hands and wails around the tiny balcony. But nobody seems to take much notice.